The film Avatar has grossed over $2 billion and has won 3 Academy Awards, including Best Visual Effects, as reported by the Wall Street Journal. It took over 10 years for James Cameron to develop the technologies necessary to create this film. Tonight I'm going to fill you in on 3 of the integral parts of the technologies that were developed for this film and how they're going to affect our future with all entertainment needs. The first item is the 3D fusion camera system, which was developed by James Cameron and Vincent Chase. The system was designed to mimic that of human eyes. So 2 cameras were placed next to each other, and each lens was able to focus on 2 different perspectives, which, like our eyes, was able to create 3 dimensions. This allowed the entire screen to have depth. So as if you were looking out a window while viewing this movie, there was a foreground and a background. So this is a lot different than your average 3-dimensional movies, which typically had just items jumping out at you. So it really added to that visual aspect. Unfortunately, with the new films, you still have to wear the 3D glasses, but they're not like the old red and green cardboard cutouts that we all are familiar with. The new glasses are polarized and untinted, so they allow different levels of light to come in, creating that 3D imagery that we're all looking for. Now, moving from the big screen to behind the scenes, Cameron was able to develop a virtual camera that was able to aid in his motion capture areas. This technology was developed, so basically as a filmmaker goes on, they're filming, in the past, filmmakers would have to film their performances behind a green screen and wait until they got to their production studios before they were able to view how everything looked with computer-generated images and live actors. With this development, James Cameron is able to see how that interaction is working instantaneously. So as live actors are performing, he can see the computer-generated environment and figures in the background. So this is very cost-effective, it's less time-consuming, and it really makes it a lot easier for filmmakers to utilize these technologies. A final development, we go a little bit deeper in, and we are able to see how he was able to capture the facial expressions of the live actors onto their computer-generated avatars. Really, this developed in 1995. James Cameron was just sitting around writing on a napkin, and he designed a head rig which had a camera right in front of their faces that recorded all facial expressions and movement. So these expressions are then transferred over to a supercomputer, which creates a template for the computer-generated avatar, and then this kind of helps the avatar mimic the live performance of that actor. And this was a major, major finding because with a lot of computer-generated images in the past, the viewers couldn't connect with the imagery because there was no emotional appeal. But with this finding, James Cameron was able to kind of get over that gap, and audiences were able to see the authenticity of emotions that were available in the avatar. And these are all 3 major developments for the future of film and entertainment. Now I'm going to go into a little more detail. First, we have a little clip of an interview with James Cameron done on the Discovery Channel, where he talks more specifically on how film will be affected by these new developments.
New film Avatar director James Cameron took cinematic technology to a whole new level. Look at this one. Run, don't run back!
Those are the head rigs as well.
He recently sat down with the cast and crew to find out what they thought movies would look like in the future.
I think what it's going to be like is I think we're going to be still going into a theater, the lights are going to go down, and a movie's going to come up. I think it's going to come up in 3D. I think it's going to be movies of stories that we can only imagine right now in our dreams. I think the focus, though, has to remain on filmmakers like Jim. Filmmakers who know that narrative storytelling comes first and not let technology get in the way of that.
I think they can be brighter. I think that we can experiment with higher frame rates to get them clearer so there's no stroboscopic artifacts whatsoever, which is really important in 3D. I think there's going to be a lot more 3D, a lot more filmmakers are going to use 3D. I think people will experiment with it, some movies will be 3D, some won't for a while, and then all of a sudden everybody will be watching, their sports in their home on a huge plasma screen in 60 frames per second 3D, and movies are going to have to, they can't be
Cameron goes on to say that just like we've progressed from black and white films to colored, from analog to digital, the next progression is from digital to three-dimension. And this is not only with films. As he mentioned, ESPN was able to broadcast the World Cup this past summer in 3D. And it's not going to just start, it's not stopping there. The next wave of the future will be video games and computer games that have this capabilities of three-dimension and better computer-generated images that are just going to enhance the viewership for everyone. Really, after 10 years of trial and error, James Cameron was able to develop the necessary technologies to create Avatar and change the entertainment industry forever. Cameron wanted to stress that all these new technologies developed are not to take away from the live performance of the characters, but really just to enhance the storylines and the plots. And really, next time you're out, just be aware of all the 3D options that are available because they are the future. Thank you.